Hey guys, it's Maxie here, and welcome to our predictions video for Summerslam weekend. I'm going to make it where we cover both NXT and Summerslam in our predictions today. Now, admittedly, it is just going to be the one still image over the course of the video, so kind of view this as more of a podcast type idea. So if you want to open up another tab and browse the internet and let your earbuds, as Colt Cabana would say, let you intake all the information that will go over the course of this particular video. So I'll be honest as well, I haven't watched a live Raw or SmackDown in quite a while, but the good thing is in this day and age in social media, it's quite easy to get a tab of results and, as I say, get highlight packages that cover the basis of the storyline, vignettes, and of course the matches as well. So we'll quickly go through NXT Takeover, and then we'll move on to SummerSlam. I'm just looking at the match card for both. SummerSlam stacked, but at the same time, you just look at the Takeover card and just think, wow, it's literally going to be 5 unbelievable. I wouldn't say unbelievable matches. Some of the matches will be superb, but just the whole vibe of that night is just going to be unreal, like a typical Takeover, you could say. So first I've got down here is the Velveteen Dream versus EC3. Of course, this one started when the Velveteen Dream walked out on EC3 in the UK tour type show. So what I'm thinking here is it's his first takeover. I think EC3 gets a win. I think with a character like Velveteen Dream, as long as you keep hyping the matches up and making them really good, and the aura of the entrance as well, he can take a few losses. And I certainly think this will be a match to put EC3 over with him taking out the victory here. But I think it'll be a very good, decent matchup, as I say. Looking forward to that one. Next up, NXT Tag Team Championship, the Undisputed Era versus Moustache Mountain. I'm going to go with Undisputed Era here, just on the basis of it would be a bit strange to have another quick title change. So I just feel it'll be a win for them. Maybe even some interference from Bobby Fish. I don't know how far along he is with his recovery, but I think maybe even some sort of interference if he's been all cleared. Next up, the NXT North American Championship, Adam Cole versus Ricochet. That's a tough one. Do you see the NXT North American Championship switching so soon? Probably not, but there has been some title defences, whether it be in the UK show against Wolfgang. I think he's had a few defences on NXT as well. Ricochet obviously had that big matchup in the ladder match. It's a tough one. I'm going to go Adam Cole, but I think it will be a bit of shenanigans. I think it's maybe still a bit too early to change the champion. NXT Women's Championship, Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane. It's tough again. As I say, obviously Kairi won the big one in the Mae Young Classic. Shayna's won since. The championship on the line, I really don't know. I'm going to be honest, I think Shayna picks up the win. I don't know where they go with Kairi Sane after this. Obviously, maybe give her a bit more time to obviously develop to the WWE style, and obviously used to promos and the like. So I'm going to go Shayna to take the win here, but I think there'll be like an underdog story eventually that takes the title off her. I think maybe a Dakota Kai could be someone that could take that championship from her, but very difficult to call. And then the one that get changed obviously at the last minute due to the injury to Aleister Black, the NXT Championship last man standing, Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano. It's tough. One each in the series. Every match has been brutal and just everybody's been drawn into it so much. I think, even though it is again, I don't want to give too many title changes. I think this is the one that happens. Even though he's only just won the title, I just feel like Gargano takes the win and either Ciampa goes to the main roster because he could really develop into a massive heel there. But I think one of them has to go to the main roster just on the basis to keep them away from each other. There's no point in keeping them in the same brand. And at the same time, you don't want them going, well, even though it's entertaining, do you really need to see Tommaso Ciampa 4 and 5 against Johnny Gargano? Or could the fourth one be on the main roster, maybe say a year or two down the line? So I'm going to say Gargano has his big moment, crowned as champion, and I think Tommaso will make the main roster. Just a prediction. I don't have any insight in that. I don't have any reason to go by it. Just that's what I think. So Moving on to the following night, where we will have 7 hours of wrestling. I know, I'm absolutely dreading the prospect of this as well. So it's going to be basically 2 hour pre-show. If you're in the UK, that'll be 10 o'clock to midnight, and then midnight to probably closing in on 5 o'clock. Maybe just short of 5 AM, but ever since WrestleMania in Dallas, the big pay-per-views have tended to go to about 4:30, sometimes a bit later. So pre-show, we have the Raw Tag Team Championship match, the B Team versus the Revival. I'm going to pick the Revival here. I just feel like the B Team, they won the triple threat match with Matt and Bray. Unless there's some sort of shenanigans involving Matt and Bray, I've just got a feeling the Revival get their moment here. So a good win for them to become Raw Tag Team Champions. Rusev and Lana versus Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. It's tough. Normally, with the push they'd be getting, you'd be thinking Andre Cien Almas for sure to beat Rusev. But it would not surprise me if, to even the score out, they make Lana pin Zelina Vega to get revenge for the 2 losses she's had. So, on that basis, I'm going to plump for Rusev and Lana, with Lana pinning Zelina Vega, and Almas can obviously push on after that. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz is really, really hard to call. It's nice that it's happening at SummerSlam. The only other place I'd want it to happen would be at WrestleMania. I can see them trying to extend this feud possibly to Hell in a Cell, pending if they feel Bryan would be medically fine for it, because obviously they don't want to risk him in a lot of matches, and obviously a bit of danger. What I like as well with the SmackDown brand, because it's so stacked, they can rotate who performs each week, who does like a segment or who does a match. So it's obviously easing the schedule for Daniel Bryan as well. I'm going to take The Miz here, even though in my predictions in our little group I've took Daniel Bryan. I think about it more. Because of Miz and Mrs., they may look for a Maurice interference or something like that, like they've already had with Monroe Sky as a doll, effectively, portraying her role. So I'm going to go with The Miz here. Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor. It's all been Baron getting advantage of Finn. Little stat, Finn Balor's never lost a singles match on pay-per-view. It's always been multi-man matches. So for me, Finn Balor is a no-brainer going forward, although don't be surprised if Corbin wins. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy. This one is very difficult to call for the US Championship on the basis of what is Randy Orton's role here. It's very, very rare to see a guy like Randy not really having a match at the time, but we obviously saw him lurking like an apex predator on the last episode of SmackDown, so he could be looking to get involved. Is it going to be a post-match attack? Is it going to be a pre-match attack to get himself inserted into the match? I really don't know, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm going to go with Nakamura beating Hardy if it's just one-on-one, but I'm really intrigued to know whether the Orton factor is here. So Nakamura to retain if Randy gets involved. I just don't see the need for him to have the US Championship. He's had it once. I don't know if he really needs it again. And speaking of people not being utilised in terms of matches, but will be on the show, I believe we're expected to see some sort of angle with Elias performing. Bobby Lashley's going to get involved, but although it is still a good spot for him, it's still a decent thing. It's a big fall for grace for Bobby Lashley. Obviously they rate Elias highly, which is cool, but Bobby Lashley could have been part of the championship match, the marquee match at SummerSlam, and now he's relegated to an angle, which might even end up being an impromptu match. We don't know. But although, as I say, Elias is still a good spot, he's still certainly very high on him, I just feel like they really dropped the ball if they wanted to push Bobby Lashley as a main guy going forward, at least not participating in that main event. Next up, and hopefully not on the pre-show because they deserve a good spotlight, is the Cruiserweight Championship between Cedric Alexander and Drew Gulak. I'm on the fence with this one as well. I've opted for Alexander. I just think he retains, gets another good win. The problem with the 205 Live is it's not the most stacked roster, so you're quickly recycling all his challengers. He's had something with Murphy, he's had something with Mustafa Ali at Mania, now Drew Gulak. There's not really many options left. There's Leo Rush, and then do you bring somebody like Hideo Itami straight out of nowhere again because he's kind of floundered at times? I just wish there was a bit more depth to the 205 roster. But I'm going to go with Cedric retaining here. I don't think Gulak's the guy to take the championship. A Drew Gulak run would be quite interesting though. And I do think we'll see it at one point, but I think today, at SummerSlam, we see a Cedric Alexander retaining. So one title change so far, two to stay where they are. Speaking of titles to stay where they are, SmackDown Tag Team Championship, Bludgeon Brothers versus New Day. I've got the Bludgeon Brothers. I think they still need to keep the titles and just show how dominant they are. The New Day, they're in a weird spot. Do they deserve a title match? They've had many chances, but the thing is, when you've got a group of guys that are so over, which they are, everybody, well, most people love them. I quite enjoy their work. I'm a big fan of them. You can't leave them off the pay-per-view, so you have to put them on the card some sort of way. So I think the Bludgeon Brothers retain, but the New Day 100%, in terms of overness, need to be on the card, and this is a good way to put them in, and it helps elevate the Bludgeon Brothers should Harper and Rowan pick up the win. Now as it gets a bit more difficult, the SmackDown Women's Championship triple threat, Carmella, Charlotte and Becky. Now the way this is looking is somebody's going to turn on someone, and is it going to be Charlotte on Becky or Becky on Charlotte? And I would hate it if they make it Becky on Charlotte, because it's like Becky Lynch is effectively the female Daniel Bryan. There's so much support for her. Myself included, a big fan of Becky's. As I say, she should be champion all the time. I think she's just basically the full package, you know what I mean? She's a very good wrestler, she's got the fan support, very good on social media, interacting with her fans, and just the puns she puts out are just amazing. Charlotte, again, it's the kind of New Day thing where it's like, you can't afford to leave Charlotte off the card. You know what I mean? She's that over, you need to have her on the card in some sort of way. Effectively, at times, they're female Roman Reigns, except really good and the fans take to her. Carmella, she's the champion, she's got to be there. It's because I don't see many title changes, which is the issue. I'm going to go a bit of bickering between Charlotte and Becky, and Carmella rolls one of them up in some sort of way. So I've got Carmella retaining somehow, some way. The odds are just stacked against her so much that I think she somehow flicks it, and then we get the whole, I beat Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch in one match. Foreseeable. I'm going to go next with the Money in the Bank contract match, Strowman versus Owens. This one is very hard to see how KO wins unless it's through a count out or a disqualification. But my worry with Braun is they do a lot of comedy stuff with him. I feel like they could maybe just say, well, I don't care about the Money in the Bank contract. No MD could get these hands. So he ends up just beating up Kevin Owens really bad and KO wins it. But I'm going to go with Braun. I think they've got to book him sensibly for once. The last couple of months have been kind of iffy. The fact they've continually had him losing via count out and via DQ to like Jinder makes me think they'll actually give Braun the victory here against one of the MVPs of Raw, Kevin Owens. Speaking of Raw, next up will be the Intercontinental Championship match. We'll get Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. It's impossible to call. Normally you'd say Seth Rollins will get the win, get Dean Ambrose in his corner, but when you see Dean Ambrose appear with that brand new look, you're thinking to yourself, he's got to be turning. He's a lunatic, you know what I mean? They're portraying him as a lunatic. You should never trust a lunatic. So I have Ziggler beating Seth, but I think we're going to get the Dean Ambrose heel turn. And if we can get Seth versus Dean, although we've had it a few times before, it's been a few years, that could easily take us through to the end of the year. And it'd be interesting to know if, although I hate the fact they have Hell in a Cell as an actual gimmick pay-per-view and feuds don't really need it, and it is very early for the feud, if Seth did face Dean, you get them straight in another Hell in a Cell match. They've had one before. I think, is it a Raw brand one? In fact, no, they're all dual branded now, I'm forgetting that. This isn't TW, but I've got a feeling you get Seth versus Dean going forward. Make it proper personal, because then again, you can have two guys that should be in the main event that are just in the crisp of it because of other things that are going on. So Ziggler retains, Ambrose turns on Rollins, and we get a couple of fresh programs going forward. Moving up, we've got AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. Again, tough to call. AJ Styles, you could argue he's had one of the longest title reigns, well, he's got the longest SmackDown one, but you think if you take away John Cena winning that championship for the short amount of time, and AJ was a champion for a good period before that as well, you're talking about close to a year on AJ Styles as champion. So I don't know. I think Joe's had a lot of bad luck in WWE, especially in the main roster, missing 2 Manias through injury. So I'm going to take Joe to pick up the win here through submission. It frees AJ up for new things after the rematch, of course. But I think the way they're making it personal, this potentially as well could be a Hell in a Cell match. We could end up with 4 Hell in a Cell matches at this rate. So I'm going to plump for Samoa Joe to win with a Kikuina clutch. Next up, Raw Women's Championship, Alexa versus Ronda. It's tough. It's really, really tough. Normally you'd expect Ronda to absolutely destroy Alexa, but you've got that kind of factor of, there's so many people that could get involved in it that could result in a DQ. I don't see Ronda losing by submission. I don't see her being pinned. So it's either going to be counted or disqualification through an interference. I think, personally, they've got to go with her just winning by submission in the case of Alexa, nearly getting her arm broken, playing up that storyline. Maybe even something post Summerslam saying I could have been severely injured if you need to take a look into your athletes and say, what you're doing. So I'm going to go Ronda. I think she has a long, lengthy title reign, similar to Brock's, and then I think that'll maybe set up Charlotte versus Ronda at WrestleMania with Charlotte winning the Rumble, if I'm being honest, and that'll get Charlotte back on Raw. And last but not least, if all goes to plan in this main event, I'm looking forward to going to bed early and not watching it. I really don't care for this at all. Brock matches are all the same. We've seen Brock versus Roman so many times. It just continually annoys me. It's not even the fact that Roman keeps getting opportunities. It's like you get so many guys that could have a decent match with Brock and could, build themselves off of Brock. But yet again, it's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? It's just, I've seen it far too many times before. I don't feel any sympathy for Roman, and it's purely because of WWE. I don't even care about Brock because it's just the same old spiel. It's like, I just don't care, if I'm honest. Roman wins probably, and I really don't know, and I really don't care, if I'm being honest. I'm sorry to be so negative, but as I say, it's your major championship. You're trying to perceive the Universal Championship as a major championship on par with the WWE title. It's never on Raw. I don't see how there's any prestige in that championship. It's just been a nothing championship. Started off well with Finn and McKayo, and ever since Brock got it, there's no prestige on it, so I don't really care for it. The WWE Championship is still the major championship, and the Universal's got a long way to even being close to even the World Heavyweight Championship. So for me, I think Roman wins. I just think with Brock coming up to fight in the UFC, they're surely not going to keep the title on him for that. You might see Strowman try and get involved in some sort of way, and I hope so, because I feel Roman will be just a dickish face as a champion. Braun Strowman, well, you could say he probably would still be a dickish face with saying, come get some, get these hands and all that. You know what I mean? Braun can still add in that element of comedy, and he's widely accepted. And, the kids love him, the adults love Braun Strowman. I'd certainly want to see something where Roman wins or Brock, whoever wins out of that, and just if Braun Strowman cash in and just bring through a new era for Raw and just allow them to get away for this war that Brock Lesnar needs the championship. Folk have always said the championship's a prop, so why continue having someone that's never there? A Brock Lesnar match is marquee enough to be its own type thing, like Undertaker was its own marquee event. If you were facing Taker, that was big. Lesnar should be presented in that way. A championship does not need to be anywhere near Brock Lesnar. As I say, for the title's prestige, get it off him, get it onto Braun or Roman, preferably Braun, and just build from there. Because, I think Braun and Roman could do good things together, and I think a lot of fans would enjoy it. So that's going to be it for the predictions video podcasty type thing. Unfortunately, I don't really have the audio equipment and knowledge to do anything like a SoundCloud or anything like that. But I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts were. Who you feel's going to win most matches on NXT Takeover and Summerslam as well. Let me know what your thoughts are on the whole thing I've discussed there regarding Brock Lesnar. Do you feel he should be presented as like a marquee matchup in the likes of the Universal title? If they're saying the championships are props, why does that need to be on, Brock Lesnar? You could argue it's the same for Ronda Rousey, but at the same time, given that initial championship, it makes her show, right, I'm the best in this division. It continues to bring her, the aura of Ronda Rousey, and then she can eventually lose it to Charlotte, and then she doesn't need to be near the title picture for a long, long time. She can just be like a dominant marquee match. But let me know what you think. And as I say, hope you guys enjoy the pay-per-view. As always, this Sunday there will be another TW video. I believe, if I'm right in saying, it's Night of Champions, so that should hopefully be a pretty good show that hopefully you guys will enjoy. But until then, thanks for watching. Enjoy TakeOver. Good luck surviving SummerSlam. And I'll see you real soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.